All right, we are in 9.10 today on Taylor and Maclaurin. This is going to be a little bit of a summary of what we know. So again, Taylor and Maclaurin 9.10. So we're going to talk about making some Taylors, some Maclaurins here, and we're going to end up with our list at the end, like I said, the summary. Okay, so we've talked about this before, right? Our a sub n term is going to be our nth derivative over n factorial evaluated at some center C. In terms of our sigma notation, this should look pretty familiar. So again, if we have our 0th term, right, our constant term, our first degree term, right, power of 1 over 1 factorial, just not written. Second derivative, second factorial, second degree, etc., etc. All right, if a function f has derivatives of all orders x equals c, then it is a series such as this, and that is called a Taylor by definition. All right, so then if we have c at 0, then it's called a Maclaurin, and again, then we've discussed this already. So a binomial series is of the form 1 plus x raised to some value k. That just what it's called, binomial series. So if we have some sort of expansion out of this, it'll be a shortcut similar to a Taylor. So we've done this one before where we had 1 minus x, right? So then my k would be a negative 1. My x value would also be a negative 1x. We can run through our derivatives, right? We can create our Taylor. And when we do so, right, they're all going to be plus signs here, and this is where we have the same number factorial over, so they're all one coefficients. And we mentioned before, right, this is similar to the geometric series. Just this one particular binomial is going to match up just like the. All right, we talked about we can do long division. And again, this is all refresh. We've talked about this in the past, just different ways to attack a problem. Okay, so now, right, we changed the minus x here to a plus x. So that's going to toggle our signs now to be plus and minus. So that's going to toggle all our signs to be plus and minus. And we mentioned again, we can have this with a geometric with an r equals negative 1x. And we can also do this with division if we wanted to. Okay, so now we wouldn't expect to use the previous two series to evaluate functions since they can be evaluated directly, right? We can do that without having to do a Taylor approximation. A more impressive use of Taylor is to evaluate some transcendentals, right? We said that was chapter 5 material. That's your a to the x, e to the x, your logs, your inverse trig, like that's all the extra functions. So again, we've talked about cosine being an even function. It's going to have the even degrees. It's going to toggle signs. But if we're going to approximate something, it's a little bit nicer to approximate a polynomial instead of the previous binomial series. Right, sine function, right? We said it's going to be an odd function, so it's going to have all of the odd powers, and again, we're toggling signs. All right, if we have the quantity 1 over 1 plus x squared, sort of looks like my binomial or my geometric series, we can start with a quantity such as 1 over 1 plus x. I'm saying the plus in the wrong spot here. And that's the one we did earlier, right? It's going to toggle signs. My coefficients are going to be a 1. Then instead of having just an x here, we're going to replace the x with the x squared. So wherever there's an x, we're going to put an x squared. And that's a different way that we can build our functions. All right, so now that once we have this rational function 1 over 1 plus x squared, and if I wanted to take the antiderivative of this guy, we're going to have our tangent inverse. So again, my tangent inverse on the left is going to be equivalent to taking term by term anti-differentiation on the right, which gives me my odd powers, and we know tangent is also odd, like sine. All right, natural log 1 plus x. Again, we can run through the derivatives here. We've seen this, okay? We can go ahead and have these memorized. So there's another location, I guess, you can test yourself. So if you see the function, can you get to the... All right, my favorite e to the x. Look at that chart, nice and clean. There we go, our polynomials, right? We have our second degree over the factorial, third degree over the factorial. The other ones are also over their factorials, again, but it's a little, they don't write that out. That's why you need a few terms to see the pattern. Okay, coming back here to our Taylor sigma notation. And now it's talking about that we're going to be approaching 0. So you don't forget about convergence and what that means to be convergent. All right, showed the Maclaurin series, f of x is sine of x converges to sine for all x. Well, if I use my Maclaurin here, right, we're centered at 0. I've got my approximation, my dot, dot, dot is true for all values of x. So we want to make sure it's going to work for any value. So if I go to the n plus first derivative, it's either going to be a plus or a minus sine, or it's going to be a plus or a minus cosine. Those are my only options. So that means if I'm going to go ahead with my Lagrange error here, right, I'm going to take my n plus 1 derivative, evaluate it at some magic number z that maximizes this. Well, whether I'm at sine or I'm at cosine, the largest it's going to be is a 1. So whatever interpretation you want to hear for z, that part doesn't matter as long as the biggest I'm going to have is a 1 coming out here. So then my derivative evaluated at z here, you're going to notice it's going to drop away to be a 1, and we're just going to have our x to the n plus 1 over our n plus 1 factorial. And that's based on this evaluation. We didn't just say, oh, we'll just call it a 1. You got to consider the functions and the opportunities and the choices and take the biggest value. So let's back up here to this slide for a second. I thought there was going to be more on the following slide, but we want to make sure that we're understanding this inequality here. So we know that I'm taking my Lagrange error, right, has to be less than my next term. And we talked about how this value is going to be a 1. So as we're considering here for all values, right, n plus 1 factorial is going to make it to 0 a lot faster than raising it to a power. Okay, so we know that this inequality is going to hold true. All right, so then guidelines, again, this is just for recognizing that it's a Taylor. All right, so this is just a list of things that you're going to want to know. Let's be honest here. Okay, so now maybe that one looks a little bit new, but we've talked about at least those. And now we talked about binomial series right now. Okay, so this big chunk we've talked about several times. So you're going to want to know those by heart. And then I would say the next one you're going to want to know here is this binomial series. They do say from College Board that they want you to know those by heart so that if they do give you some sort of derivation here that you know that you can bring it back to an e to the x, a sine x, a cosine x, and it's going to be some sort of a variation of those. But if you don't have those in the memory banks, then you're going to have a really tough time. Okay, so now if we're going to build a cosine of the square root of x, okay, you start with your cosine because you have it memorized, and then wherever there's an x, we're going to just put a square root of x, and then you're done. Okay, that's the benefit of having it memorized. If you don't have it memorized, people are going to try to build that from scratch, and taking that derivative with that chain rule every time for multiple terms, it gets old, like fast, and you're going to burn time. So that's why they say that these should be memorized. All right, that's all for 9-10. See you on the next one.